Hello humans, welcome back to Michigan Farms. We have progressed to later on in the day in May. We had to wait out some rain, but we are going to get back to work. So you can see that we are in the New Holland here, attached to our fertilizer spreader, and we are getting our way out to the field to do some fertilization. At the end of the last episode, you saw that we added chickens to the farm. So our chickens are over here. We did off camera sort out some food for the chickens. So they do have some food, which is going to help them with their productivity, and hopefully we'll start getting some eggs really soon. But for this episode, let me just pull off to the side here, pull up the menu. You can see that we have a few fields, actually all of our fields, rather than the one half of field that I believe has canola in it. So 29, 28, and 27 all need to be fertilized today. So we are going to head up to field 29 to start off and start to work on that fertilizing. So I believe this might be all that we have left to do in May. The cows, I believe, are happy. So yep, they've got straw, they've got TMR, they're running out of it, but I think we're going to let them finish that off and then start to eat that hay before we fill back up with TMR. We want that hay to kind of be consumed by them, and if we put TMR back in, they're going to eat that. So you can see we do have a decent amount of milk and a decent amount of slurry that we'll need to deal with. And then, like I said, we were able to put at least a little bit of food into the chicken coop there. So we are going to get into this field here and start to fertilize. I am hoping that this is going to be a quick job for us today to get all of our fields fertilized, and then we will probably progress on to June. We do need to definitely sort out the food for the chickens, and I'm hoping that when we move to June, there might just be a contract to harvest a field that has some sort of crop that is available for the chickens to eat. If not, we will have to buy chicken feed, which is not ideal, but that is where we are currently at. Once these fields progress on and are able to be harvested, then we definitely will have food for our chickens, but where we currently sit, we do not. So we are going to work on this fertilization, make sure that our fields are all taken care of, and that these yields in these fields will be as good as possible when it comes to harvest time. All right, we are wrapping up the last little bit of field 29 here, making sure that we cover the entire field. We missed a little bit here on this last edge, but we are taking care of that now, and this will be the field completely fertilized to 100%, which will be great once we come harvest time. So I'm going to go ahead and get this switched off here, and actually check to see what we have in the fields. I always forget what we have. So it looks like we've got oats in 29 and 27, and we've got sorghum in 28. So we are going to get this spreader back to max width, and we are going to get positioned and go ahead and start in this sorghum field right in front of us. So we do want to take care of all of our fertilization spreading today if possible. We want to knock out all 3 of our fields. You can see that when I pull up the map here, that this half of field 20 is not fully fertilized. That is the grass field. I have tried to put some fertilizer on that and it did not take, so I'm guessing it is past the growth point where it will take that fertilizer to get back up to 100%, but that's totally fine. 50% fertilized is good enough for that grass field. But we definitely want to be taking care of these crops here to make sure that we are maximizing our harvest yield when we get to that point of the year. So we will try the grass field again once we get another cut off of it, and try to put some fertilizer down before it even progresses to the first growth stage, and see if we can get that back up to 100% fertilized. Although it's not the end of the world, we definitely want to make sure that we are getting the most we can out of all of our fields. We have this wonderful fertilizer spreader here that makes that job really quick, especially in that grass field. But we are going to just continue working on these crop fields here. So we're going to get this sorghum field taken care of. And then we'll move forward to that oat field right behind us and get that taken care of as well. So we will continue this wonderful fertilization work here on this May afternoon. So this is the last pass of all 3 of our fields to get everything 100% fertilized here in May. So we are going to finish this up, go ahead and get this spreader put back into one of the barns, and then we are going to check to see what else there might be for us to do. If there isn't anything, which I don't think there is, I think that we are going to progress on to June to see what that might bring us to do on the farm. So we are going to get this tucked away in this corner back here where we have all of our fertilizer. Oh, a little bit too much there. We will get this dropped off. Let's go ahead and this New Holland just parked right here, and we will go ahead and jump into the menu. So all of our fields, you can see, are fertilized. We shouldn't have any weeds growing. Yep, we sprayed those out recently. None of our fields are ready to harvest. They are all still growing right now. And then we checked earlier, but our chickens are good and our cows are good. So we are actually going to go ahead and just jump up here to the house. We are going to rest until tomorrow morning and progress on to June. All right, welcome to June. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on the farm. So it looks like the cows have made it all the way through the TMR, which is great. I'm going to have them start working on that hay. We have produced some more milk. It looks like their straw is still doing well. We could give them a little bit more of that. The chickens still have food, so that's great. I thought they may have worked their way all the way through that overnight, but that did not happen. Let's go ahead and check our fields. So looks like field 29 is our closest one. So our first harvest looks like it'll be the oat field, then probably the canola, and then it probably is going to be both of the oat and the sorghum at the same time is what it's looking like. So we've got nothing in our fields to take care of. Let's go ahead and jump in, and we do have a harvesting, and it is a barley field. Awesome. So we are actually going to, let's see, field number 2. That is quite a large field. I think that might even be bigger than our field number 28. And rather than using our equipment, we are going to go ahead and borrow these items and accept that harvesting contract. So I think this is where we are going to end this episode, and we will begin to work on that harvesting contract in the next episode. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on our Michigan farm.